Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm Gamesplaining Crystal Palace. Okay, if you have watched my Gamesplain of Crystal Palace, you'll have an idea of how this game plays. I'm going to have a playthrough of probably just the first round out of the 5. It is set up as a 2-player game, so all of these boards have the 2-player side on them. The very first thing that happens is that each player decides how much they're going to spend on their dice and what numbers they're going to show. They will do this underneath those boxes, but so that you can see what I'm doing, there's no real need to cover it because I am the only player, let's be honest about it. So this player, the white player, looks around and he sees that he'd need a 5 to take that one. Otherwise, that's the highest number. So he might just do one of them at the 5 and one of them at the 4. Other than that, he thinks probably going the other 2 at 3 is probably best. Blue will keep a 6 in, and he'll probably go for a 4, a 3, and a 2. Okay, they now reveal to everyone, white is worth 15, and blue is also worth 15, which means that the person with the highest die, which blue has as a 6, will be the first player. But what they must do is spend their money. So both of them have 15, and that's basically to hire the dice. Now that the dice have been hired, blue will use that one to go there, which allows him to do one of these actions. And he thinks right from the outset he might go for that, which will cost him 1 more money. White will then place, you don't have to place from highest down, but it makes sense to do it that way. White likes the idea of going there, and he will also get and actually the same thing. So he'll spend 1 money to put his guy up into the black market. Back over to blue. Blue is going to benefit from getting these guys, so he'll put his 4 on the number 4, and he'll use one of his things. So he has the choice now. He could spend 2 money to put a new guy in, or he could spend 2 money to promote that guy. At this stage in the game, he might just spend the money to put a new guy in. Back over to white. White likes the idea of that card, or one of those tiles. Back to blue. Blue thinks it's probably worthwhile going for one of those at the moment. White will go for that. Blue will come down here, and white will finish up there. Okay, that phase has happened. We now action each of the boards. So we start with this one. Because blue's the only guy there, he moves that down, which moves that up 1 because he's just covered up one of those. He then gets one of these cards, and he thinks he might actually grab this card. If he can get this built this year, so in this round or the next round, he'll get 11 points. So it's probably a worthwhile one for him to be going after. Coming over to white, white just moves down to there. He will take this tile, which gives him straight off as a one-off thing, a cog and a light bulb. And that goes there, basically covering up one of these masters. That little signal means it's a one-off thing. He then gets this one, and he thinks right at the moment he's going to go for that, which is 3, 2, 3 on the income. He'll go there, which gets him 1 more money and pushes him forward to there, which also gets him 2 more money. Blue takes 1 of these speaker points, and he can grab any of the guys. If he gets this, he'll get 1 of these tiles, and he'll get a point every round for any of these guys that are built. He can take this and get 9 points and 1 of those tiles. Or he'll take that and get 4 points and 1 of those tiles and a point there. He thinks actually at the moment it's probably worthwhile going for this one. It's going to cost him the gear and the light bulb. So those 2 things. He gets straight away 9 points. He doesn't have either of the other types of invention, but he also gets 1 of these, which flicks over, and that's a one-off, pushing him 2 spots up on the income and giving him a light bulb. That now flicks over as being done, but he's going to need to pay income for that guy. Moving on, blue. He moves this one down to there, which pushes him 1 forward on the newspapers. That then means that he gets 3 of these points. So 1, 2, 3. And he thinks it's probably worth his while at the moment to actually take that one, because he's going to get that every round if he does that. White isn't there, so white doesn't get to action that at all. Then we come over to this one, Once again, blue goes to there. He thinks at this point in time it's worthwhile going for the extra die. So he'll put that there. We come to here. White is going to... If he goes here, he'll get a light bulb and 2 money. If he goes there, he'll get a light bulb and 2 forward on that track, which gets him really nothing, or for 2 light bulbs. He thinks at the moment probably go there, so that gets him a light bulb and 2 more money. And that is all of those actions. We then go to phase 4, which is paying your guys and getting any action. So this guy has no one to pay, so he doesn't have to pay anything. This one will have to pay the green number, which is 3. And there's no other actions on that card. Then we move to this, and this is a thing that will happen in player order. So this player, being the first player, will go first. He has the chance to get this guy for 4 light bulbs. He only has 1 at the moment. So choices he could make is to spend 4 for a second one. He'd need 3 of them, so it costs him 12 money to do it. And he thinks at the moment it's probably worthwhile, so he's doing 12 money and the light bulb that he has to get this guy in. So he's paid the 4 light bulbs. He takes 11 points. He doesn't have Faraday, who's number 30. And he's now choosing whether he wants to do this bottom action or if he wants to force the other guy to do the bottom action. So what that means is if he forces the other guy to do the bottom action, the other guy will get that token, which pushes him forward 1 on the income track, but it will push him out of there. Or he could take that himself and push out of that one. He thinks at the moment it's probably worth his while to take it himself, so he'll push that guy out. That has now happened, been invented, so it now goes down. We then go to phase 6, and what phase 6 looks like is, first up, receive income for where you're up to. So white is getting 7 income and blue is getting 6. Then we move these down 3 spots, and then we action any of the green markers, which pushes him back up 1. Then anyone who has a marker on these will take the thing. So at this point, blue has the choice of 2 money or 2 more horns. 2 more horns would get him to here, which would get him a cog. But because he's got very little money to start with, he's only got 13 money there, it's probably worth his while to take the 2 money from that one. Then everything that's in the black market moves down 1. I think that I neglected to say that before these are moved down, you do actually take whatever's in their spot. So that's what it looks like. Before they get moved down, blue is going to move forward 1 more, which gets him a cog. White is going to get 2 more money, then move them down. And then we go to the cleanup phase, which is pull all these cards in, put 3 fresh ones out, dice go back to the player, that tile comes out, flip the 2 tiles back in, that tile gets removed, 2 fresh tiles go in, those markers stay where they are, goes back to the player, this hat moves along 1, so this is what's going to get points in this round if you go on that board. That goes back to the player. That goes back to the player. And I think I have done all the changes. I think that gives you an idea of the game overall and how it is to be played. The only hidden points to be aware of is whoever is furthest ahead on the buzz track will get 6 points. Second furthest ahead will get 4 points. The black market, whoever is at the highest at the black market, which currently is blue, will get 3 points. The next one will get 2. If that's the same player, it's the same player. So they could pick up all 6 of those points potentially if they've got the top 3 positions. Then on the own player board, wherever your marker is up to, depending on how many of the thing that you have. So if this player happened to be here, he would be getting an extra point. If he happened to be here, he'd still only be getting 1 extra point because he's only got 1 of those cards. Then minus all of these negative points. And if you happen to have taken a loan, loans come whenever you just don't have enough money to do what you want to do or what you are supposed to be doing. So you take a loan which is 10 money, that would flip over. So that's -8 points at the end of the game instead of -2. If you pay that back right now, you can do it right now, it doesn't matter. That would only be -5 instead of the -8. The other thing that you do is, before that, turn any lots of 10 money that you have into the 10 money markers and put them over so you don't lose the points if you have 10 monies to cover them. And whoever is furthest forward on the track wins the game. I think that is everything. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you wish to be Gamesplaned, please shoot me an email to thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter @thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games that I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.